My cheek brushes against his, smooth on stubble for a moment, and then it's gone. He walks along the platform as if in a dream. Every fibre in me wants to shout and scream, stop, to run across to him and take him in my arms, to tell him I love you. You silly, silly man, I love you. But instead I stand still, heart cracking. Those little curls on the back of his head bouncing as he steps out of my life. Whatever.
It's the season of hearts, and the show's here to talk about love and relationship. And on today's episode, we will talk about marriage. Natanong nyo na ba ang sarili nyo, or have you asked yourself the question like, why do I want to get married? Or why are we really getting married? My guest for today, fellow Pinoys based in Dubai and the host of Langga Speaks podcast, Apple and Jeric Defante. Hello, mga Langga. Can I call you mga Langga?
Yes! Hello. Hi!
Hi! Ayan.
Hey, Jan.
Yes. Sa Dubai.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Apple.
I'm Jerry, and you're listening to... Ganun ba yan?
There you
Thank
are.
you, Roma, for having us. Thank you, Roma,
Thank
for
you
having
so
us.
much for inviting us
Yes.
here.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for saying yes to the invitation. Actually, kinakabahan ako. So, oh my God. What if...
Huwag kang kabahan, di kami nangangain.
Kasi sobrang sabi ko, wala, baka marami silang guesting. Sabi ko, gano'n baka mag-guest.
Guesting, nakakaloka.
I think you're the second one now. Yeah.
Since you first
Yeah.
since you first invited us.
Not many people approach us. I don't know
I know,
why.
right?
Thank God na rin pala. Thank God.
Kasi I know, that's why I really sent you a message December because I know, sabi ko, nako, these guys might be so busy. Sabi ko, mabuti nang mabook sila bago matapos ang taon. At
Taray.
Sobrang advance po niya ng booking, and when you are part of the Roma Miclat podcast,
You have to up your game.
You have to up your game because in terms of the email booking, you're so
Tsaka sabi ko, OMG.
Hashtag goals.
If we're gonna be like, part of this podcast, I have to make the goals. So it's like, I had to up my game, my friend. I said, promise, nakakilike ako today, today. Normally kasi, mukhang talagang wala.
Mukhang bagong gising.
Mukhang bagong gising kahit alas 4 na ng hapon.
Ganon din ako minsan pagka walang video. Nag-effort lang ako pag may video. Kaya minsan, gusto ko na nga i-quit yung video eh. Sabi ko, pwede bang podcast na lang? Para maski hindi ka nagsuklay, okay lang, wala ka makeup, maga-maga yung mata mo. Marriage. Itong pag-usapan natin today on this episode. I believe I mentioned this to you guys that the inspiration of this topic actually came from a Korean drama.
Yum.
And it's called The World of Married Couple. When Dr. G, the main lead, asked the question in one of the episodes, and it was when she was in the middle of a messy marriage, and she asked herself, what is marriage even? Parang, kasi sobrang, alam mo yun, dami nilang hugot sa buhay. Sure. And I was like, as a viewer, parang natouch ako, sabi ko nga, oo nga, ano nga bang marriage? Ganun. Bakit ka nga ba kinakasal, di ba? So, because in reality, there are different reasons why, people are getting married, and it's not always because of love. Di ba?
Right.
Some are, I'm sorry.
Yung iba, net worth.
Yeah, bank balance, mga ganyan. That was like our major criteria.
Yeah, okay,
So I was like,
kinda.
That's why I accepted him. I was like, he's decent.
I was about to say pa sorry for the lack of good words kasi sabi ko but for convenience, pero ito sila tinirada ko agad. Yeah.
Siyempre, no, support. Hindi naman
True.
pwede. We don't live on love alone, di ba?
Yeah.
Kailangan rin kumain, te.
And tenancy contracts.
And tenancy contract for visa dito.
True. And some are I know people who had arranged marriage.
Right.
Pa rin pala yun sa society natin. And while some sadly they use it as a form of escape, whatever that means, diba?
Yeah.
And now I want to ask you guys, Jeric and Apple, what is marriage for you guys?
Ladies first.
For me, because I'm Catholic, so I believe that marriage is something that is a gift from God to us. But also in a practical sense, it really is an institution. It's an opportunity for you to be able to travel through life together through someone who would hopefully in the best of situations would be able to help you reach a certain goal better together than if you were alone. So it helps you become a better version of yourself. So basically, siya yung nagpapakahirap sa buhay mo para pagandahin mo yung personality mo.
So for me, is where you die.
What? Sabi, gagalingin niya yung sagot niya. Ginagawa niya akong a buffer.
Marriage is a place where you die. Where you die to yourself so that the other person can fully bloom.
Grabe naman meaning yan. Grabe.
Yes.
The place where you die so you can give life to another.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. We could go deep. Okay, that's
Yeah, fun
basically our answer.
fact. That is why traditionally, people, especially men, we wear black
At the wedding.
at the wedding, and then
Oh.
women wears white.
White. Yeah.
Yes, because the white signifies purity, while the black sa lalaki, it signifies death. Death to a part of yourself that when you are going through this journey,
Right.
you have to die to your previous selfishness. Yung mga dreams mo na nung single ka pa, you have to dream for the both of you already.
Right.
So that's the part that dies. So yeah, it's a place where you go to die.
Sabi,
Pero fun
Kinabahan
fact.
si Maro.
Pero fun fact, sa kasal namin, Jeric wore dark blue. So I don't know if he was really
It's a dark color pa rin.
dark color
diba?
pa.
No, sabi siguro ng mga nakikinig dito, kaya pala pakiramdam ko namamatay ako araw-araw.
Ay, yan.
Ang tanong, if you're dying for the right reason.
Yeah, are you
hirap
dying
naman-
for the right
Yeah,
reason?
hirap naman magpakamartira na parang wala lang. Sayang naman, may value yung buhay mo.
And it's also in marriage. You don't go for marriage so that yung sabi mo nga to just escape.
Yeah.
You choose a partner. I just was recently listening to the Michelle Obama podcast about marriage.
Max, napaka-recent.
When napaka-recent
Mga 1
kanina lang.
hour ago.
So when she was talking about marriage with Conan O'Brien, sabi niya, you don't get into marriage choosing someone na as if wala lang. You choose someone as if you're drafting for an NBA game. You choose someone that will help you achieve the dreams that you also have within you.
Yeah.
You choose to get married because you know that you can do bigger things together.
Yes, I agree. Because sadly, 'di ba? Kasi may iba yung 'di ba, tipong convenience. The reason why I say convenience earlier is, for example, you've been together for like what, 8 years? Tipong yung quality ng relationship nyo is just, it's bad. Pero kayo parang yun na yun eh. Parang
Ito na, nandito na tayo eh.
8 years, sayang naman, tapon mo na. Parang, guys,
Tapon mo na, parang hipon lang.
ano na ng ulo, tapon mo, ganyan, nakaka-high blood, ganyan. Pero diba, kasi, yun eh, I mean, I think not everyone is, aware. Because, when we get convenient, pag nasanay ka na, nakasanayan mo na parang paggising mo, part na ng routine mo yon, no matter how destructive it is, sometimes we choose that, diba? And it happens also with our partners in life. And
Yes.
Right.
that's why I really want to talk about this topic, because although in the past episodes I talked about preparing for a wedding, but what's really important is what happens, or the marriage after you got married, diba?
Yes.
After all the bongga stuff, that after the ceremony, yung quality ng marriage and relationship nyo, yung iba ang saya ng mag-boyfriend, but then for some reason when they get together, parang ano nangyari? We used to be happy.
Yes. We always believe that marriage is a magnifier.
Right.
That's also one word that can describe a marriage. Whatever you are when you were still single.
It becomes magnified when you finally enter into
Yes.
marriage.
So kung kuripot ka nung bago ka ikasal, pag kinasal ka na, mas kuripot ka. Magiging mas kuripot ka.
Kung toxic ka before you got married, mas magiging toxic ka pag kinasal ka na because you weren't able to, marriage, yun nga, it just blossoms whatever seeds you planted just before you enter into marriage.
Yeah.
So
No
if
matter-
you plant the wrong seeds, kahit 8 years man lang, or man yan, or 8 months, yung relationship nyo, whatever seeds you planted, that's what's gonna bloom.
Now I want to ask you guys, why did you get married? Like, is getting married really part of your life plan? And how did you know that, he's the one, she's the one that I want to spend my life with? Parang ganun.
Jonathan, Eric, I'll leave it to you.
Siyempre, wala yung lalaki dito ngayon, diba? Because of course, you asked the question eh.
True, diba? Wala
I did want to get married. It's part of my life's work to propagate seeds of my genes. no, but it's more of
Napili.
the timing wasn't what I expected because I was planning to get married later in life pa. When I got it figured out, di ba, the world will always speak na kailangan, may bahay, lupa,
Yeah.
kotse ka na before you get to settle down. But I did plan to get married. And how did I know that she is the one? Is because the closer I became to knowing her, the more I became myself. So that's one of the things that I really took note of. Na you will get to know if she or he is the right person is kung mas maging ikaw, yung ikaw. Because a lot of us, di ba, we go for dates and then your girlfriend will have a boyfriend tapos malalaman mo na, bakit kaya nagbago na siya? Hindi na siya sumasama sa mga girls' night out namin. So, ano nakilala niya yung lalaking yan. So you have to reevaluate that pagkasama mo ba yung taong special sa'yo, ikaw ba yun? Or you just put your best foot forward? So,
are you being authentic to yourself,
Yes.
or are you just trying to please another person because you have other needs, other insecurities na hindi mo kaya, you can't deal with? So you put on the mask of a relationship just to be able to hide or escape, like you said, from it.
yun. So kaya pinili kong makasal kay Apple kasi I can become the better version of myself. I can become more of myself when I am with her. Is it the same with you?
Iko-contradict ko yan. Kakasabi mo lang, para sa akin hindi.
Ang ganda-ganda na sinabi ni Jarek. Biglang, ano na, be?
Uy, naka-record to.
Uy, Roma Miclat podcast to.
Oo.
Umiya naman tayo.
Kasi may credibility ng show natin. So what is it for you?
For me, the reason actually I had prayers of getting married and stuff like that, but at the time when I met him, I wasn't really seeking to get married because I had reached a point where I was already so frustrated at the fact that I had no idea where my life was going and I didn't want to waste time. So I was at a point where I was already asking God kasi I reached ang tawag doon, yung pag maraming mga
Desperation?
options. Medj na. Kasi, because I had,
Crisis, something like that?
parang ganon. Kasi I was like, because I've never had a boyfriend. He's actually my first boyfriend.
Wow.
Tapos, siya yung talagang unang na pinayagan ko na ituloy yung ligaw. Ituloy yung ligaw. Nakakalaga siya. Pero like, it reached a point na dahil parang feeling ko wala pa ako nakita na matinong lalaki na pwede kong
Mahalin.
hindi, may mga minahal naman ako. Pero asawahin? Is that right?
Grabe! Parang, wag yung masyadong
ba
raw.
tama?
Masyadong raw yung word.
Oh, sorry. I'm not even sure. Is that the right Tagalog word? Okay, delete na lang if I'm grammatically wrong. But yeah, it was even like, it even reached the point where I wanted to enter into a convent or mga ganon. But it just so happened that God led me and he opened my eyes to not only to what was, but what will be. And it just so happened to be Jeric. Sabi ko, sayang naman yung bank account niya. Char.
Sayang yung shares niya sa Jollibee.
Sayang yung shares niya sa Jollibee, te. Oh my gosh. Support your own. Kaya Jollibee for the win. Char.
Oh my God. Pero yeah, I think sa babae, I think I'd say normal to go through yung ganong phase na sometimes you just give up. Pero wait lang, Apple, you dated before.
Yes, I dated. I went on dates. As someone once put it to me, or encouraged me to create opportunities to meet men, to get to know men, ganyan. And they were all great men. I'm not saying that they were, but like there were certain things that just did not there were certain boxes that just did not get ticked that I needed to have in a husband. So I thought since there was no one in the immediate vicinity, sabi ko, ay, baka magmamadre na talaga ako. Okay lang naman kasi ala Julie Andrews, ganyan, ala
The music.
Sound of Music yung bet. Akala ko kasi pwede ka na lang kumanta pag madre ka. So sabi ko, sige, go.
Puro kanta lang.
Oh, puro kanta lang. Yun ang bet ko eh. In the end, asawa pala. So yun.
Oh, kasi they have this sort of, they say that for men, it's all about the parang right moment or timing in their life.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
doesn't matter who the girl is or kung dati mga ex niya tipong puro like cheerleader type or very mahinhin. But if
Oy, cheerleader. May hugot yan, te.
if it's at the right moment, like he feels like, okay, I want to settle down.
Right.
Yes.
Regardless kung ano pa si ating
Yes.
papakasal ako. Unlike women, for us, like what you said, Apple, we have our sort of list kasi that we are looking for. Guy. Because of course, ito lagi kong sinasabi, no matter how independent a woman is, no matter how strong your personality is, at the end of the day, you still want someone to cuddle you and you want to feel
That's right.
protected. Diba?
That's right.
That's true.
Because I believe that, also, it's innate in every woman's heart to want to give love and to want to receive love. It's very natural to us in different shapes, different forms, of course. But for a woman, it's very natural sa atin na mag-ano. So, tsaka tayo may biological clock.
Yes.
So, that plays a lot din sa mentality natin. So, sabi ko, hala yung nanay ko, kinasal sila nung 22, ganyan, 25 na ako, wala man lang lumalapit,
Yeah.
ganyan. So parang yung feeling ko na, hala, matanda na ba? Especially in the Filipino culture, right? Like you'll hear you
Yes.
parang, wait, 25 ka na, nagtatrabaho ka na, ikaw pa naman yung panganay, may naliligo na ba?
Hindi marunong mag-small talk yung mga Pilipino. So,
Gusto kong sabihin yung talang konti na sabihin ko, bakit tita?
bakit tita, kayo po ba yung mga anak?
Tama.
Konti na parang, so we have only met in once in the past 5 years. What's your... may issue ka pala sa love life ko. Concerned pa pala. Mga ganyan.
True. Kasi I asked that because ako naman, medyo similar kami ni Apple. Parang there was a point in my life where I was fed up. I've been through a lot of relationships that parang it's not going anywhere.
Right.
And sobrang minsan you question yourself, bakit ko nga ba to naging boyfriend in the first place? Like,
Right.
diba? Yun, again, like, kasi lagi kayo magkasama, barkada, ganyan. Then suddenly you become boyfriends and I was like, that's it? You know,
Right.
oh my God. Tapos bigla sasabihin nila, kasi I have plans for us. Tapos I plan, what plans? Gaganon ako. Getting married. I was like, what? Getting married? No! Tapos aalis na ako, makikipag-break na ako. And there was a point where I stopped being in a relationship. Then I just dated. And I told my mom, I had a heart-to-heart talk with my mom. Sabi ko, Nay, ayoko mag-asawa. I don't want to get married. Because my mom is separated. My two sisters were separated. So I was like, so I think in my mind, I'm afraid that
It
if
will
their
happen.
relationships didn't make it, made me special. Diba? Grade up also. Oh my God, ayoko na gawin. So sabi ko ganun, magpapaka-addict na lang ako sa work, ganyan. Sabi ni Lord, no girl.
No girl.
Exactly.
Girl.
Exactly.
Gotta be part of the club.
Right.
Yes. So I think if the right person comes to your life, no matter how solid your plan is,
Yes.
but mag-iiba talaga.
Right.
Yes.
Parang hindi ako yung in-expect.
Hindi naman. Sa totoo lang, hindi ka talaga siya na-expect. Kasi hindi ko talaga siya bet. As in, sa totoo lang. Char.
Hindi mo siya talaga bet?
No. Oh my God. He spoke so much Tagalog. I had no idea what he was
And
saying.
with her spirit. Sabi nga sa simbahan, and also with you.
Gusto ko yung mukha ni
Nagsisinungaling ka po. Bet na bet mo po.
Oh my gosh. Pero okay, so para sa inyo, what are the things that we must ask ourselves before getting married?
That's a good question.
Ito, totoo na to. Kaya mo ba? Kaya yung mga ganong part. Not because yung mukha kang pera, but because you're also scared for yourself. Like, you know.
Yes, exactly. Kasi magiging naked ka in front of someone. I mean, not only physically, but emotionally, your whole life will be open to be shared to someone else.
Right.
I think one of the things that you have to ask first is, am I getting married para mabuo ako?
Right.
Na, yung mga
This is because this is the mistake. And I mean, like,
sorry.
exactly. We are trapped. We are trapped with that na nakita ko na yung other half ko.
Right.
Yeah, it's a very ancient concept of soulmate. Kaluluwa, 'di ba? Yung parang we're gonna
The other half.
we're gonna be living our
Complete.
life
Yeah.
searching for that other half to make us whole, but that never happens. That is not true. Because in order for a marriage to work and to be in a way easier to transition in is dapat buo ka
Bago ka po.
by yourself, not because of the other person. Bago ka pumasok into this deeper relationship that you're gonna be, which is marriage. It's basically two whole people going together in life to create a work na bigger than themselves.
Right.
So that's the first question. Am I going through this marriage just for me to feel complete, or am I already complete? That's why I'm going into marriage, so that we can bless more people together.
Tama. That's why Jeric and I are advocates of soulmates when you're in the search of marriage, when you're gonna get married or when you're dating, but not SOUL that the world advocates, but SOLE, like the shoe, the soul.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you're looking for someone to journey life with together. If you're just going to be looking for
To walk
someone
with you.
to walk with you, to run with you, to even, help carry you pag hindi mo na kaya maglakad, it's going to be that kind of relationship rather than looking for someone na, oh, I feel lonely, so I need someone to take care of me, mga ganyan, and to fill in my emotional needs, because they will never be able to do that. Because there is no one person who can completely satisfy the needs of another.
So what did you ask before you get married? That's the question you need to ask.
Siya ba talaga? Oh my gosh. No, but I think for me, one of the things was that am I ready? I had to go through a lot of questions of really am I ready? Because that means
So what's one specific question?
one specific question is the partner that I am choosing really yung authentic in the sense that has he in the time that we've been together, have I really seen not the whole person, but you can never meet the whole person, but have I seen the characteristics of the kind of partner in life that I know that I would journey with as a soulmate? Because it's one thing to be ready, but are you also aware of the other person? Have you journeyed enough? It's not in the time, it's in the quality and the what you're looking for in a person. So yung sa relationship namin na we were officially together na as boyfriend and girlfriend for 2 years before we got married, but we were very intentional, and we were looking specifically for things na would be magnified sa marriage namin. So since I saw those glimpses of those, sabi ko, ay sige, push na te.
Parang walang choice.
Parang napili, sige na, biling ko na yan.
Okay na yan, pes na.
Last
okay
stock na eh.
Kahit display, okay lang po.
Okay na yan.
Patapos na yung 12-12. Sige, okay na yan. Check out.
Jeric was bruised. Jeric was battered, but
Yeah, we're not perfect.
Yeah,
but
but-
are you willing to go beyond those quirks? and
exactly.
those-
But the characteristics in his personality were the ones that I said yes to.
And that's a good thing that you guys highlighted those things, because sometimes diba may mga iba na parang, oh, ano ba bang hinahanap mo? well, you're well established. You have a career. You have the means and all. Parang kulang na lang asawa. Parang,
Yeah.
naman po yung bag, no, na
Exactly.
it's not an extension of, parang hindi mo siya for display. And
Right.
also because that's what the society is telling you to be. Like,
That's true.
35, you have to have kids, a wife, and whatever.
Hindi rin siya milestone sa buhay na you just check.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a very, very good thing to say, Jerry. Thank you for saying that. Kasi parang ngayon, di ba, iniintay ng mga tao, finally!
Finally! 60 ka na!
Pwede ka na mag-asawa.
Hey, we always believed also in because of the countless stories that we have around us when we were still dating. They are a reminder to us that marriage can be heaven if you do it with right. If you do it right with the right person. But it can be hell for you if you get it wrong. So we were we were also taking that into consideration.
Exactly.
It's like a gift or a curse, depending.
Exactly. And a lot of it matters the kind of person you are before you enter and the kind of person you're planning to marry.
Yeah.
So unless you really have that intention, do you really want to spend the rest of your life drowning in a toxic, no
Yes.
purpose? I'm like,
Meron din kasi yung tipong they only marry the potential.
exactly.
Which is very wrong. Yung parang, hindi, titinudin yan kapag
Hindi,
naging kami na.
kaya ko pa yan.
Ay, kaya ko pa yung baguhin. Yan. May yung tag dito, missionary dating. Yung
Right.
talagang babaguhin ko yan pag naging kami, pagka nagkaroon ako ng singsing. Ay, magiging santo yan.
No, I still see goodness in him. Ganyan.
I think kasi for women, I think we by nature are fixers.
Right.
No, we want to be that person. For example, you are dating or you like bad boys. Kasi ako, of course, I like bad boys. The bad boy image and all. Pero kasi parang it's a pride for us to sort of like, ikaw yung nakapagpatino dyan.
Right.
True yan.
It must be that there is something in you na hindi niya nakita sa dami ng naging babae niya sa buhay niya.
True.
He settled down, diba? Parang ganun. But again, yung sabi ko nga kanina, you have to think, baka naman nung moment na gusto niya nang mag-settle down, ikaw yung nasa linya, ikaw yung naka-cute diba? Parang,
Totoo.
sorry for the word, pero minsan kasi, diba, like magugulat ka, parang, hindi ganyan yung mga niya.
Oo, kami mga lalaki kasi mga artista kami talaga by nature. Diba? Hindi nyo makikita talaga, hindi nyo marireveal yan eh.
Oo.
Saka yung pagbabago namin, desisyon namin yung magbago.
That's
Para sa inyo, desisyon namin, but it's not because of you na you changed us.
You can inspire someone to change, but you can never change someone yourself. Because the
Yeah.
only change that was within your control is yung sarili mo.
True.
So no matter how much you try, ladies,
Minsan kasi mga babae, expect nyo yung basically, kino-convert nyo kami para maging kumari nyo rin which will
Totoo.
never happen.
kung girlfriend yung hanap mo, te,
iba yun.
expand
ibang topic yun.
expand your girlfriends. Don't change your partner to become the girlfriend that you need.
Exactly.
Diba?
Sometimes, diba kasi, what they do is like, yung mundo ng girls, sorry girls, kung tinatamaan kayo, yumuko-yuko na lang kayo ng konti.
Natamaan maano.
Bato-bato sa langit. No, but sometimes kasi like we are so focused that we make them our world, which is very wrong.
Right. Exactly.
True.
That's I don't know which rule is it, pero sobrang mali yun when you are in a relationship kasi you still have to enjoy your independence.
Right?
You have to grow individually so that you can be better together. That's
Exactly.
I always believe in that.
That's true.
So yun, don't be forced to get married just because hindi ka tinatantanan ng pamilya mo. Asking
Yes, exactly.
Totoo. Don't get married because other people are making you get married, because they're not going to be the ones battling it out every day in that relationship.
Yes.
It's not their battle. They're pushing you to enter the battlefield, but it's your choice whether to enter it or not. Diba?
Yes, that's true. Yung mga nitong huli lang, 'di ba? Kakatapos lang ng Christmas and New Year. Nagtanong, ikaw, hindi ka pa ba magpapakasal?
Mga
Sila Tita Mema. Sila Tita Mema. Tsaka si Tito Mema.
Mga ganyan. Kailan ba ako magsusuot ng gown ko? Mga ganyan.
Di magsuot ka, te. My gosh, kung may gown ka, di suotan mo. Picture lang pa yung hanap niyo eh. Magpa-studio ka.
Magalit. Pagka magalit, wala naman tayong titang
Hindi
ganyan.
kasi sister.
Oh, lucky you!
Kunyari lang wala.
Okay, pero okay, before I move on to my next question, how important how important is it to ask about money sa marriage? Because aminin na natin guys, it's gonna happen. Like somewhat, ano ba?
Tingnan natin mga mukha kayong pera.
May mga add to cart kasi yung asawa ka, ganyan.
Kasi diba, somewhere in your married life, may experience ng mag-asawa yung pagsubok when it comes to finances.
Totoo.
On the early years, middle part, or medyo latter part. Pero either way, makaka-experience kayo ng ganon. And
Yes.
sometimes it breaks the relationship.
Yes.
Yes, that's true. When we started our journey together, we were very open to not actually our income, but we were open to discussing money matters. Actually, as a matter of fact, we were dating in money conferences. So that's one way, di ba? Kasi instead of me preaching to her, I invite her to attend a financial seminar with me as our form of learning together. So that's how we approached it.
Nire-recruit ka lang yun.
Di ba? Actually, di talagang basta
Open-minded
we had,
ka ba, te?
Hindi naman yun. But we really attend the stuff together. And then, I taught her how to open a stock market account, mga ganon, as a form of spending time together. But we never are transparent with how much we earn.
While we were dating.
Yeah, while we were dating, because it's one of, we believe
boundaries.
that very taboo topic to just divulge. We also are against yung
Buying
properties
together.
tapos hindi pa kayo kasal.
Yes,
We've heard countless of stories na ikakasal na lang, hindi pa natuloy, di ba? So they had to go through all of this legal separation of property. So yun. But early on, may mga questions na kami about money. We identified what type of persons we are when it comes to money.
Yeah, so like originally kasi I'm naturally a saver.
So pareho kayong saver? Or
No, he's a level up because he saves pero he's more of an investor kasi mas naging malawak yung exposure
risk
niya.
averse, di ako.
So mas malawak yung exposure niya. Ako kasi I was newer in
Scammer kasi ako noon.
I think one of the things was that it helped that both of us, yung personality namin, we really want, we're learners. Like, we love learning new things. Tapos, we love learning things together and as individuals, and then teaching it to one another. So, one of the things that allowed us to experience that was money matters, was finance. So, in learning it together, it helped us not only grow as a couple, but it also planted the seeds, the conversations we would have pag kinasal na kami.
Tsaka open kami nung nag-boyfriend-girlfriend kami. Talagang hindi yung tipong ako lang lagi. Alam mo yun? Meron
like when
talaga
you were
kami
dating.
we set boundaries na we practice yung gagawin namin if we get married. Hindi naman pwedeng lalaki lang yung laging gumagastos, di ba?
Totoo
So, minanage na namin expectations nun from the very beginning as part of my saving tactics as well. So, minsan, parang we take turns in dates. Kumbaga, sa gastos pa lang.
Parang ganun. It just allowed us to, parang you can't just jump into it agad. But what we really tried was intentionally like slowly opening up the transparency in having conversations with one another.
Hindi rin sa pilitan.
Wait, what's sa pilitan?
Yung by force, hindi
No.
naman. But as we draw near to our engagement, for example, nung na-engage na kami, hindi pa rin namin sinasabi yung mga sweldo namin. Nung na-engage na kami, sinabi naman namin ano yung mga liabilities namin. Is there anything I need to know? Meron bang mga utang na meron ka o meron ako before we tie the knot?
Do you support?
Kung meron man.
Family support din.
Yeah, exactly.
mga
Family support.
ganyan.
Sino ba yung mga sinusuportahan mo? Kung meron man, pag-usapan natin.
Paano natin gagawin?
Willing ka bang kunin yung loan niya? Mga ganyan tanong, di ba? Kasi
totoo yun. Kasi ako transparent ever since even the past relationship. Kasi sa akin, non-negotiable, I support my mom because she doesn't have a work. Separated sila. So parang you have to understand that I have my financial responsibilities at home. And there are things that I can't, these are the things that are non-negotiable. Kasi may iba
Yes.
na pag ganun eh.
That's true. That's
That's
true.
true. Kasi we've seen we've heard stories nga of pag kinasal na sila. Ay,
Chismoso kami kasi. Chismoso kami. Kaya alam namin yung mga nasa paligid.
So yung mga naririnig namin na parang mag-aaway sila, oy, bakit nagpapadala ka na naman sa nanay mo?
So,
mga ganyan. Bakit
tsaka,
kailangan ganyan?
expectation din yun na pag kinasal kayo, kakasal din yung, kami sa amin personally, we believe that when we get married, we will also marry our finances. Hindi pwede yung kanya-kanya pa rin kayo.
Yes, kasi when you get married, you accept the entire person.
And that includes the wallet, no matter how deep or shallow the wallet is.
Wow!
Which is the
Kinalang digital banking ako.
True.
Walang bulsa.
transfer na lang.
Transfer lang.
E-pay.
So actually, she's more of the earner eh. Mas malaki yung kinikita niya sa akin. Pero actually, nung kinasal nga kami, sabi niya, do you feel anything? Kasi di ba may issue na pag mas mataas na earner yung babae.
Oo.
So yes. So we got to settle that. I was secured already with myself. I wasn't insecure if she's earning more or she's doing better in career wise. I was secured already before I even married her. I was secure with how I handle my finances and my career as well.
Because what I loved naman about him was that because I was I really strive to earn more because my goal was to be able to support my family. For him naman, it doesn't matter the amount, but if you're able to become a good steward in knowing how to manage it, kasi yung mga iba milyonaryo pero babad sa utang, 'di ba? So I think for us it really helped. Tsaka we're really believers na pag kinasal ka na, walang sayo, walang sakin, parang gano'n. It's one.
Atin.
It's atin na eh.
Oo, maraming gano'n. And I would like to agree dun sa sinabi mo about Jeric na really, no matter how big or how small the income is, kung hindi ka talaga marunong mag-handle, parang kahit gano'ng kaliit yan, may masasave ka pa rin. Kahit gano'ng kalaki yan, hindi rin, parang mauubos pa rin yan because you don't know how to handle your money. Wow, I like what you guys said. Sobrang, I hope yung mga nakikinig nito, namnamin nyo pong maigi yan. Kasi, yeah.
Ako talaga, it's one of the reasons of marital fights. Diba?
Yes. It's something that's not being spoken of, but something that's legit.
Kasi yung kilig mawawala yan eh. Pero yung mga pagbabayad yun ng bills, di mawawala yan.
Monthly yan, te.
Kami kaya, di ba parang ang ayos-ayos niya, parang ang siya-saya niyo, hindi pa pala bayad yung Meralco. Di ba? Parang, bili ka ng chips, bili ka ng beer mo, yung tubig, hindi pa pala bayad.
Bubulunan ka na. Hindi pa tayo bayad eh.
Di ba? May mga ganun. And those are, and it's, para sa akin, hindi kasi, I didn't grow up na nakakarinig na nag-aaway because of money. So for me, medyo off sa akin yon. So ako hindi rin ako nang-aaway because of money. So if it's money, you should talk about it. There's always to talk about things, to settle this, especially money issues. You don't fight in public because of...
No, my gosh.
Yeah.
No.
Kami minsan nag-aaway kami, parang, sige na, sa'yo na yung BMW natin. Sa'yo na yung Ferrari.
Taray!
Ganun ba tayo mag-away?
Ano ba yan?
Hindi. Ano ba yan? Yung...
You said I can use it this Tuesday.
Oo. Pwede ba mag-break muna tayo? Magpapa-cool off muna ako doon sa yate natin. Ayan. Yan, okay lang yung mga ganong away sa public. Especially kung totoo.
Naalala ko tuloy yung kasi I was listening to your one of your latest episode, like the theme of the year, yung fountain.
Oo.
Diba? Pang sosyalan yun.
Scene. Naalala mo na
Sakto pa naman yung lighting nun eh. Ang ganda ng lighting, sunset. Ganun ang iyakan namin.
Lumayas ka, pumunta ka muna ng Switzerland. Ganon. Yung mga away.
Oh my gosh. Sana all.
Sana all din.
Would you guys agree that it's also important to talk about the possibility of having or not having kids?
Yes.
Or getting married?
Definitely.
Yes. we believe that should also be a topic, especially when you're dating and your intention is to see whether that person is spouse material or not. It's one of the very unspoken
Yeah,
parang
most of the unspoken topics. Kasi nga, usually, nananaig yung kilig. Yung mga
Emosyon.
important topics such as money, such as having kids, we tend to shove it sa, di ba? We tend
It'll
to
work
shove it sa
itself
pinakadulo.
out. Ganyan.
Yeah.
It'll work
Oo.
itself out.
Pero importante yan.
Kasi hindi kasi romantic yung mga practical na topic.
That's true.
Ang hindi naintindihan ng tao is that unless you speak about it, mawawala talaga yung kilig eh. And for you to have to make tuloy the kilig, for like how many years, you have to handle the practical side as well.
So yun nga, sa kids.
To make tuloy.
You have to ask, I mean, we're not only talking about Christian families here. So those listeners of the Roma Miclat podcast, syempre iba-iba tayo ng ethnic background, cultural
background.
religion. So when it comes to us kasi, we as Catholics, we are open to life agad. I mean, as part of our belief system, we have marriage comes with being open to life.
Right.
But for those couples na not in the same background, you have to talk about it also, di ba? Malay mo kasi yung babae okay na siya sa pets. Pero yung lalaki gusto naman niya. So simula pa lang, I think these are topics that you should talk about. So, a lot of women will say na, ayoko kasi i-open sa jowa ko kasi it might turn him off. Malapit na siya mag-engage, na-feel ko na yung vibes niya. As in, luluhod na siya. Pero pag tinanong ko siya lang about kids, baka matakot, di ba?
Baka he'll leave.
Yeah. And for that, I would say,
Hindi na siya yung the one.
yeah. For that, I would say, if he can't handle those tough
Kind of.
topics, then it's not worth marrying. Kasi kung di niya kaya i-handle yung mga ganong tanong, yung magko-cold feet na siya because you asked that question, are you willing to settle for a partner na hindi willing to face the serious questions in life?
True. Nakakapagbuhat ng 160 pounds, tapos pag tinanong mo sa... Di ba?
Ooh, but
Sabihin, I prefer Chihuahua. I can't handle baby weight.
No, but yeah, I mean, whether kasi with marriage, children, I mean, you can have the most chillest relationship ever when you get married, but when kids come into the picture, it just like throws everything in the air. So unless you're open to discussing about that possibility and how to handle it, pag nagde-date pa kayo or very very early on in your marriage, baka mawindang ka, ay ganun pala na yung that's what was residing na pala sa puso niya, hindi pa pala siya ready or ayaw pala niya, tapos biglang meron, kawawa naman yung bata, ayaw pala nila, diba? Ayaw pala ng asawa mo. So it really matters that you know the stand, the deepest stand of your partner before you enter into that situation.
Ako naman kasi, I believe that no matter what, it is a huge factor that's gonna affect your relationship and the relationship ng partner nyo with your family. Kasi aminin na natin, di ba, may mga kamag-anak talaga na talagang sabihin na natin ang hihimasok. Like, kailan ka magkakaanak? I mean like, meddling.
Okay,
Meddling.
sorry.
Yeah, they're like, kailan ka magkakaanak? 3 taon na kayo kasal. Parang gano'n, sayang yung lahi nyo, ganyan. And it's, alam mo yun?
Yung lahi.
Diba? Totoo yan. Totoo.
That's true. That's true.
Diba? And this is also a very, very touchy subject. But I dare to discuss this with you guys because I believe it's important to, talk about this too. You mentioned, I believe, in one of your episodes that, having kids is a gift from God. And which I also believe that, of course, syempre, it's a gift. It's a gift of God. And we have to acknowledge that. But not every couple, is given that chance.
That's true.
Would that mean, ito, liwanagin natin sa kanila, would that mean that the marriage is not blessed pag hindi ka nagkaanak?
Okay, fine. Even if I pointed, he still looked at me. Jerry and I, especially because we're Catholic, and we got married in the Catholic Church. Part of the vows that you take is to be open to life. And in the vow, it mentions that are you willing or are you open to accept the children that God will give you? It doesn't say that God will give you children if
Oh,
you
yeah.
are a good husband and wife. Ganon.
Yeah.
It's
that's
never that.
no.
Yes, and even in this, even in the scriptures, it doesn't really say that every couple will have children
Yes.
biologically. The question is if you are open to accepting it. That's the question. If you are open together,
God leaves the choice to us pa rin at the end of it all. But it doesn't mean na kapag wala kang anak,
hindi ka
mabiblessed.
blessed or ay hindi maganda yung marriage nila, siguro may awayan sila, siguro may problema kasi wala si ganyan, or siguro may curse yung family nila. Exactly.
Yun nga. Ganyan.
It's not and we also have many we also know of many people, many couples who are really struggling to have children, and you cannot deny the effort that they're going through
That's true.
physically, financially, emotionally to have children. Pero until now they're still waiting, and you cannot say na oy hindi pa
Hindi
sila
sila blessed or
pamilya.
hindi pa sila pamilya.
You-
I believe that we believe that when you do get married, you're already a family.
Exactly.
And there are people that you will always pastor in a way that you will always guide, because there are younger people who are always looking
Minsan
up
nga
to
mas
you.
matanda pinapastor na ng iba eh.
Oh, kasi ba? So magulang ka na rin, kasi a lot of people think that biological children are the only way to become a parent. But when
Exactly.
you do get married, parent ka na eh.
Even for women, you know, the struggle na yung especially ngayon sa social media, everything is documented. Everything is celebrated. So pag nanay ka, tapos may pinost kang pregnancy test na positive, wow, ang galing naman. Tapos yung mga friends mo na wala pang pinost, okay lang na yun sa kanila. Parang ganon.
Or they would say, okay lang yan. I'm like, girl, okay lang talaga ako.
Exactly.
Talaga ako. Why do you have to even tell me, okay lang yan, girl? Ikaw naman ang susunod. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I think people need to learn how to how to converse and how
Exactly.
to remain silent. People don't, especially Filipinos, they don't know how to really start a conversation. They don't
Exactly.
even know what to say. I mean, if someone had a miscarriage or someone,
multiple miscarriages.
yeah, or someone is hindi pa nagkakaroon ng anak, they don't know how to. Sometimes, you just have
you don't have to say anything.
You don't have to say anything. That's the best way to
Yeah.
approach it.
Kasi minsan, di ba, factor in kasi yung nasa-stress yung couple on having kids.
Yes.
They no longer enjoy the journey,
Exactly.
And
Together.
it's becoming a task for them na,
Yes.
dapat magkaanak ka. Parang, sayang, like I said, sayang yung lahi mo. Hindi ka na bumabata. Baog ka ba?
Right.
Ay, baog ba?
Exactly.
Ayan mo sila.
Exactly.
Na sobrang tagal na nilang, they were waiting for to have a kid or to have a child. 10 years. 7 years. And then, alam mo yun, she got fed up that when the oldies would ask her, bakit wala pa kayong anak? Baog ho ako eh. So then they shut up. Thankfully,
Grabe, no?
they have 2 beautiful kids now. But anyway, like you said, they don't know when to put a stop on those topics, and okay lang sana if you ask questions, kasi dito they're very careful. They would ask you, oh, do you have kids? And they would say, oh no, I don't have kids yet. Oh, is it by choice? Or parang ganun. At least kahit paano medyo nagme-mellow na, tsaka pagka medyo close na kayo. But again, there are things that you don't post on social media. You don't say, guys, I'm struggling to have kids, or I had like you said, multiple miscarriage na sobrang, diba, everything is documented, and those are the pains that you keep to yourself. And
Yeah.
if you
In
will
a way,
share,
yes, exactly.
and if ever
And
you share it,
you have
will-
to share it to good friends. You have to.
You don't have to tell everybody everything about your life.
Yeah.
Yes. And sana, diba, wag din manghihimasok. Kasi I guess the part is also, the society, the expectation of the society.
Right.
Right now, everything is, blown out of proportion. It's shared on social media. So at the same time, the pressures of couple, andun din. Like, for example, di ba, before wala namang Facebook. So like when they get married, you don't see each other for a while, tapos malalaman mo na lang nagkaanak. Ngayon, parang simula nung prenup nila,
Kinesa.
nakikita mo na lahat. Hanggang sa kumain sila sa ganito.
Nakita nga ako, sabi, yung gaganda ng mga sinishare nyo, yung journey nyo. Share nyo naman, bakit kayo nag-away? Paano kayo nagkahiwalay? Kasi dami nang ininvest naming time sa kakalike ng mga good memories nyo. Ngayong hiwalay na kayo, ayaw nyo i-share.
Invested pa rin naman kayo to know the reason why, diba? The expectation is to have kids.
Right.
So, what can you say to those, like, let's say, couples na they're struggling and they don't know how to handle those, people around them, stressing them?
Like one of the things we've learned, I mean, not just to deal with kids, especially when we were dating and when we got married, is to learn how to curate the comments that we allow to enter sa relationship namin,
Yes.
to curate the comments from the people that we allow to affect us bilang mag-asawa.
I love. How do you do that? Teach me, senpai.
To be honest, I think one of the things talaga is to be transparent. Especially if you're married, to be transparent to one another. Kunwari, may sinabi yung isang relative sa akin or may sinabing isang aunt of the cousin of the third whatever sa akin, either on social media or face-to-face, na talagang I was really affected. And I had to really make a choice to be open to him. May sinabi to, ganyan, affected talaga ako. He would help me in battling that emotionally by, God, do you really think that's helping you physically, mentally, emotionally? I don't think that's good. He's very open, as in he will tell me that's not good for a marriage. I don't think that's healthy for you. You should learn that's not parang ganon. That's not essential for you. So in a way, he helps fight for me in the battles that I have in my own mind. In the same way, when he receives such comments as well, he would tell me and I would help him. That's how you are as a married. You have to yung maging partner kahit sa mga battles that are unseen. And you can only do that together as a team, as a partnership, when you are open with one another. And that's where communication comes into play. So for couples who are struggling na ganon, yun nga, yung open communication, it's a massive,
It's very important.
It's essential.
And you have to choose one another always, regularly. Kasi, people will say things about you. Those are your uncontrollables.
True.
But if you have a safe space, which is your relationship between the two of you, you will be secured no matter what the world tells you. You have to make your marriage as strong as possible. Na yun yung magiging
Safe space.
sandalan nyo. That will be your refuge. That will be your sanctuary.
Right.
That no matter what the world tells, alam mo may babalikan ka. The problem with other marriages is, what we see now is, pagka magko-confide yung bawat isa, dinidismiss agad. Huwag ka masyadong pa-epekto dyan. Tsaka intindihin mo na yung pamilya ko. When you do get married, you live and cleave.
Right.
You separate yourself. The priority becomes God and then your spouse. Not your family, not your mother, not your father, not your siblings anymore. So nagkakaroon ng change in hierarchy. So that's what we need to reinforce. Kasi yun lang yung within your area of control Wala ka namang control sa sasabihin ng iba at wala ka ring control sa mararamdaman mo sa sasabihin nila. But what you can control is
how you will react.
How you will react and how you will place an anchor, which is your relationship.
Wow. Grabe. Ang ganda ng sinabi nyo, guys. Sobrang wow. And I think people those who are listening to this episode, pakinggan nyo mabuti, ulit-ulitin nyo yan. Because sometimes there are relationships where even if they get married, they still choose the mom. Or the partner.
Huwag mo ko papiliin. Yeah.
That's not even fair. May yan, diba? But of course, yun nga, we forget that when you get married, yun nga, I like what you said, na nagbabago na yung hierarchy, nagbabago na yung priority mo. It's not that you don't love your mom or your family.
Exactly.
Diba? It's just that you have a responsibility now to build your own family.
Exactly.
You have to protect and support them, diba?
Yes, exactly. I mean, tsaka kaya nga nilagay yun, actually sa Biblia na lang, just going back to that, kaya nga nilagay sa Genesis yung live and cleave agad para maiwasan yung mga ganyang problema.
Sometimes kasi, akala ng mga tao, live and cleave is just physical. Ibig sabihin na, okay, nasal ka na, kailangan may separate na you have a separate home, ganyan, you live separately from your family. What they don't understand, leave and cleave also means yung emotion, yung mga ganon. So it's not, you don't cut your family off, but you have to understand, that there's a priority in your heart, in your mind, that you have to rearrange for everything to be in order.
Yes.
I love that. I love that, guys. Do you think it's important also that when you get married, you try to separate, parang hihiwalay sa parents? Kasi usually, di ba, in the Philippine setting, like when you get married, pupunta sa side either the guy's family, kasama yung family ng guy, then the couple, or yung guy aalis sa family niya, pero pupunta sa family nung
Right.
Girl. So what do you think it's also important that you talk about those things? Yung pagbukod.
Actually, yes.
The
yes,
logistics of marriage.
Amin sa amin kasi, it was always been, it has been always our priority na humiwalay. Why? It's because yun nga, going back to live and cleave, mahirap kasing, kunyari bagong kasal kayo, it's so hard to become the real you in front of your spouse if you are also living within another family. I know that the extended family, for certain reasons, marami, economical, yung logistics nga, sabi nga ni Apple. But you really have to ask yourself, am I doing this just to save money? Pero in the long run, it would foster hate within the family. It would foster conflicts, resentment.
Am I willing to sacrifice all of that future?
Yes. And also, madidelay yung pagkakakilanlan nyo sa bawat isa. Madidelay yun how you will get to know your spouse because there is a certain filter, di ba? Pagka within the family ka.
Yes.
Siyempre kung may kwarto ka pero you're in your parents' home, alang mag-aaway-away ka tapos rinig ng buong pamilya mo.
Magte-text na lang kayo, I hate you. Kaaway tayo ngayon pero hindi ako makasigaw kasi nandito
Nandiyan
tayo
yung
sa
mga
bahay ng nanay ko.
Or maaway kasi nandun ka sa parents niya.
Exactly.
And my mom would always say, yung nanay ko would always tell me na hindi pwedeng dalawang reyna sa isang tahanan. Yan, di ba? Lalo mga babae, hindi dapat ganyan ang sampay. Dapat ganito. Ayan.
Sandali lang nagpaparinig ka ba sa akin?
Kulang yung tubig sa sinain. like right now,
Mom.
exactly. I mean, our situation right now, for example, I'm living with my sister right now. It can work temporarily, but not for the long term. In building a family, it's practical na you live separately. So maybe temporarily it can work, but you have to have a deadline also. You have to have a certain time where you will separate.
For me, because Jeric moved to Dubai to look for work, ganyan. But this was the first time I've ever moved out of my home when we got married. So when we were engaged pa lang, when we were planning for the wedding, we really focused. I know you've already had an episode of preparing for the wedding, but I just would like to bring this up. That a lot of the savings that we did in preparing for the wedding was really not for the wedding day itself, but for after. Kasi kunwari dito, you have to place a deposit for the house that you will be living in, because we really wanted to get our own place, as small as it may be. So you're talking deposits for the house, for the rent, for the electricity and things like that. So a lot of our savings went towards that because our goal was really for us to live under one roof, separate from my family. Kasi ayun that's also as much as I love my family, we're a very tight-knit family. And although we did get a place 10 minutes away from my parents, but there is a season of being married,
especially pag bagong kasal,
that you have to cherish pag na kayong dalawa lang.
Kasi lalabas dyan lahat eh.
Lalabas lahat. So, and that's a gift that we're until now that we're very thankful for.
It wasn't easy. I remember the time that we had to decide. Kasi ako, gusto ko maganda yung namin wedding video. But we had to let go of that. We opted for a much smaller fee to invest on that. And yung naipon namin, yung na-save namin, we had to go to the house that we were gonna live in. So,
maganda. Ako, parang gusto ko yung ganun. Kasi nga, again, what real life happens after the wedding ceremony.
Right.
Yun naman
Yes.
importante, yun naman yung long
Right.
term, diba?
Right.
And it's also important that yes, bumukod kayo no matter how tanggap or how loved yung
Yes.
husband, wife. Like, di ba, favorite ka ni mommy, favorite ka ni daddy, na parang dito ka na lang lagi. But no, at the end of the day, mas maganda pa rin umuwi ka sa sarili
That's true. That's true. I mean, I love my in-laws. I mean, don't
And
get me
I love
wrong.
my in-laws, but they live in the
And
Philippines.
it will really be practical to be with them. Kasi syempre, isang ulam lang. Pero ibig sabihin, mahirap pa rin, di ba? We have to learn
Because
to live.
our priority was our marriage, not our extended family.
Not our convenience.
Not our convenience.
Yeah.
Because we really wanted to fight for the marriage that we believe we're trying to build.
That's true.
So unless we made those sacrifices financially, emotionally, physically, it's the seeds. It's the seeds that you're trying to plant because you're hoping for a better future beside the person you've chosen to marry for the rest of your life. Ganon.
Very good.
Very good answer, Bang.
Very good answer.
And fines. my when we after we got married, kasi we were living sa parang small condo unit with his mom. And that time we don't know how to say na we want to move out. Kasi syempre, diba? Of course, yun nga, gusto nyo i-cherish yung first few months together na parang
That's true.
kakakasal nyo lang. But at the same time, iniisip namin na,
Ano kayo mararamdaman niya?
Oo, so might, kasi siya na lang maiiwan mag-isa dun sa unit.
Right.
And then
Right.
when we opened the topic to her, she was actually sabi niya sa akin, yeah, hindi sa pinapalayas ko kayo ha, pero to live on your own. Sabi niya ganun. I was actually planning to talk to you guys kasi pero gusto niya talagang itry namin mamuhay mag-isa sabi without any wants help from my family, from his family.
Right.
You will know each other much, much better.
Yes.
Yung kahit sinong, actually, that's one thing about being OFWs eh. Sabi ko, sinasabi ko din to sa mga friends ko. When you fight, you don't have a choice. Walang
That's true.
pamilyang sasalo sa'yo. Walang friends na tatakbuhan ka agad. So you have to sort things out even
That's true.
that same night. But at the end of the day, you only have each other, diba? You
That's
only
true.
have each other. So, sige, magalit ka, magbasag ka if you want. But at the end of the fight,
Linisin mo yan.
yes, and you choose each other.
Right. Right.
That's
Actually,
Okay.
Actually, random story. Kasi nga, we chose to get our own place, but we live literally 10 minutes drive away from my fam, where I lived with them for like the whole of my life. Pero naalala ko talaga yung sinabi ng nanay ko. Sabi niya, I love Jeric as in botong-boto yung mga magulang ko dito sa asawa ko. I'm so thankful for that gift. Pero sinabi ng nanay ko sa akin, huwag mong kalimutan na may asawa ka na. Pag nag-away kayo and you're thinking of escaping back home here, I will return you to your husband. You are not my daughter anymore. You are his wife. You fix whatever problems you have in your home, then you come here. You're not allowed to
True.
escape from your husband just because you feel uncomfortable and you're going to come running home to your mom. So I was like, okay. So she established the boundary for me and really made it clear na, yeah, I'm her daughter, but right now I'm a wife. I'm a
Yes.
wife first.
Yeah.
So she kind of knocked me some sense into my head. It's like, okay, so I can't run here and look for like kaawa, was it? Naawa mother, whatever.
Kakampi.
Kakampi, yun. So that really helped us. So when we would argue, especially in the first months of transitioning into a new marriage, it really played out, no, we have to settle this because I'm not allowed home.
So sa mga biyenan din dyan na nakikinig, kung may mga biyenan kayo, parinig nyo sa kanila to, wag na kayo makialam, parang awa nyo na.
Sometimes they meddle when they really love their
Oh, especially mga solong anak. Yeah.
yung mga gusto yun na pangasawa. Sabi ko na nga ba, mali ang pagpili mo dyan
Yes,
eh. Talaga ako,
yes.
boto dyan sa batang yan. Ganyan.
Yes.
Ayan.
No, I'm so proud and so thankful to say this kasi pareho yung mga magulang namin, like both sides. I love my parents and I love also my in-laws. All four of them, they've never yung parang meddled sa kahit sa pagpalaki ng mga ng anak namin, they've never meddled. But they know that we're confident na kung may problema kami, we can go to them, any four of them. Pero they're very, very stunt in, ay, mag-asawa na kayo, ayusin niyo yan, ganyan. Hindi na kayo bata, gawin niyo yan. Desisyon niyo yan, magpakasal, ganyan.
They're
So we're very thankful.
gods.
We're very, very
They're
thankful.
gifts from God daw. Sabi, mga mabubuting in-laws.
Oh, we're very, very thankful. Very, very thankful.
Ano yan eh, not everyone is also blessed with,
No.
with good
No.
in-laws. Aminin na natin yan. Fact of life.
Yes,
True.
yes.
Actually, sa totoo lang, major factor din kung bakit pinili ko din si Jeric. Kasi nakilala ko yung mga magulang niya. And I was like, oh,
Sabi kasi nila, ang nanay, siya yung ilaw ng tahanan. Pero ang biyenan, siya yung anay ng tahanan.
and when I met his parents, I was like, I love them. That's it. Sealed the
Hindi
deal.
sila anay.
They're not anay. So
Sabi nila, if your mom-in-law is not the best, Resident Evil daw yung salbahe, di ba? Even if sabihin na natin hindi talaga kayo boto sa napangasawa ng anak nyo, ng uniko iho nyo, unika iho.
Right.
Mahal ng anak nyo, don't try to separate them. Give them the chance also to, work the relationship and the marriage. Don't be the reason why they will separate. Kasi minsan, di ba, sinususulan eh.
Right.
Sinusulan kasi, and that's not right po. May paggalang, pero hindi po.
May po.
May po.
Please lang po. Huwag po kayong makialam. Parang awa nyo na po.
So true. All right. Wow. Thank you, Apple and Jeric. I want to close this episode by asking you, what would you like to leave to our listeners?
Mga nakikinig, we just want you to live with the message that when it comes to marriage, it's not a walk in the park. It will always have its difficulties. And you don't marry for your life to become easier. You marry with someone kasi you know that by being together for life, you'll be able to do bigger things beyond yourself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sabi yung mga sagot ni Jeric, no?
Diba?
Practice ko yan.
Palabasin nga na. Wait lang, saglit. Papalabasin ko lang, isa lang. Ano ba yun? Grabe yung sagot niya. Kanina pa siya po, sakto-sakto sa banga.
Diba? Feeling ko
Yun
na-prepare talaga
Prepare
siya.
ako.
Prepare siya. Pero one of the things that I learned this goes out to all the single listeners out there. If you're looking for, for your future Mr. Right or Miss Right, don't just focus on just looking for them, because you have to be the Mr. Right for your Miss Right. You have to be the Mrs. Right for your, unless you work on yourself first while you're single and to become the best version of yourself while you're single, you could not be maybe the person that the person you're praying for is praying for as well. So you also have to make that balance as well.
So, finance before romance.
Grabe siya.
Tunay naman, tunay. No, but I also agree with what Apple said, that because sometimes kasi diba, I'm total wreck. I need
So, talagang you get it out there. Wasak na wasak ako. So, when you do that, you attract kapwa wasak.
Yeah.
Kapo was.
Yes. Diba? That's why they say, why, diba, some people would ask, why do I always get this type of guy? Why is he he's breaking my heart? Blah, blah, blah. Kasi sometimes you don't see that you're a magnet to this type of guy, because
You attract.
Ano yung movie na yun? You attract the love you think you deserve.
Mali ba naman yun? You deserve the, yun sa ibang
Hindi
movie
daw,
yun.
Perks of a Wallflower yun,
Hindi,
di ba?
You don't say you attract.
O kaya. I-fact check niyo ko.
Hindi,
Feeling ko mali
hindi
ako.
po yun yung
Pero
linya, no?
parang ganun siya. Parang ganun yung vibe niya from Perks of a Wallflower. You attract the love you think you deserve, or you get the love you think you deserve.
Yan.
Mga ganyan. Mga listeners, paki-fact check po ako. Tapos i-DM niyo ako. Kung
yes.
Ibang podcast yun.
And then you have to heal yourself before you look or find love. And darating yan, if it's time, you will find the one for you.
Right.
Thank you, Apple and Jeric, for sharing your time with us. And can
Thank
you
you then.
please invite them to follow you, where to find you guys?
Hi guys, you can check us out. We have our own show, Langga Speaks Podcast. We release an episode every Sunday. And you can check us out in every podcast platform. And that's it. You can email us at langgaspeaks@gmail.com in case you wanted to learn and to know more about us. Especially yung mga pinagsasabi nito misis ko.
Yeah, because I don't understand half the things you say when you're in Tagalog, Char. Just check us out, langgaspeaks.com. Everything's there.
Yep, langgaspeaks.com.
Thank you so much. We're very, very honored to be part of the Roma Miclat podcast.
Yes.
I am so
Thank you, Roma, for inviting us.
So once again, Apple and Jarek Defante of Langga Speaks Podcast. And I'm your host, Rama of the Roma Miclat Podcast. Until my next episode, bye!